My name is Glori and I am 13 years old. I'm a citizen of this state and I'm here to ask you to protect the youngest generation, our home and our future. First, a little bit about who I am. When I was 5, my parents read to me a book from the series Little House on the Prairie, in which a calf was killed only for the rennet in its stomach from its mother's milk. That is the moment I became a vegetarian. I'm here to talk about the petition for rulemaking that Kids versus Global Warming and I have asked you to consider. I want to point out some really important parts of our petition. First, I'll talk about the climate crisis to make sure we're all on the same page. The EPA says that, quote, climate changes are already occurring that harm our health and welfare, and that the effects will only worsen over time in the absence of regulatory action, end quote. It is all this burning of fossil fuels that is causing the problem, and the scientists agree. With more greenhouse gases being emitted, heat gets trapped and less of it goes back to space. This causes temperatures to increase and changes our weather patterns because of more moisture in the air. Current CO2 concentration in the atmosphere is at 390 parts per million, as compared to 280 ppm pre-industrial. It needs to be at 350. My generation has a profound interest in ensuring that the climate remains stable enough so that we have a livable future. A livable future includes an opportunity to drink clean water that will abate thirst, grow food to abate hunger, to be free from imminent danger from extreme weather events, and to enjoy the rich biodiversity of this small planet. Our atmosphere is critical for our life on Earth. Before Earth had a stable atmosphere, the only thing that could live here were bacteria. Our water resources, food, animals, people, all of life on Earth depends on it. Our atmosphere is now imbalanced and life on Earth is in danger. Our government has a duty to protect the safety of its citizens, and especially the natural resources we need to live. This duty is a part of the public trust, and all 3 branches of government are required to protect the trust resources. I have nightmares about the environmental damage that humans are doing to our planet. We are the only ones who can stop it. Because our leaders are failing us, youth all across the world are standing up to demand change. I am asking you not to give in to political pressure or your fears of changing our outdated economy or agricultural system. These are old, outdated, polluting systems no longer serve us. We need systems that will still work when I am grown up. They no longer serve us. In fact, they're harming us. They are jeopardizing our welfare. I am asking each and every one of you to be courageous and to think of your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, the future generations yet to come, and think what kind of Earth, what kind of place you want to leave for them to call home.
I'd really like to give the young lady an opportunity to not be a vegetarian. The only good part about that is you leave all the meat for the rest of us. But the really sad thing is, if you study into that longevity of that, you'll wish you didn't do it. And to be right honest, that's when you lost me in your presentation, is when you mentioned the word vegetarian. Let's make sure from the audience, and it is open public law, that you can tell us whatever you want, however you want. But I'm going to caution you on, make sure you get your facts straight. Because there is a reason that we're all on here. We all have an occupation. We also study the information. And we also know the facts about what's going on of these issues, or we have studied them. And there's always 2 sides to every fact. But let's make sure we get them right, because after a while, the people involved in the issue, they do know the facts, and someone that hands you a sheet of paper perhaps gets a little bit carried away. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward. I think if you stick around later today when we go through these issues, you'll understand the real reason of why item 21 is taking place like it is. And it wasn't mentioned one time by anybody this morning, which indicates that they have not studied the issue at all. And it's only emotion, but that's what the open public law is about, is to express your emotions. So enough said there before I've got a whole list of wrong facts here, but we're not going to go through them.